for today's practice, we'll do some back bending, fun, and get into the legs. So if you want, like if you use a block, say in half moon, for example, then you would want to have a block handy. We will also work toward Supta Virasana, which is when you sit between your ankles and take a back bend. So if you know you want blocks for that or bolster, go ahead and grab that just so you're not having to look for your props once we get started. And then lastly, if you have a strap, that would be helpful. Your strap can just be open, doesn't have to be some fancy loop. It could be a dog leash. It could be a sweatshirt that you can just take wider than shoulder width distance apart. All right, my friends. So let's just start in our seat. Whatever that looks like for you. Could be cross-legged, could be on your shins. And once you find your comfortable seat, just let your hands rest. Close your eyes. Or a soft gaze off the tip of your nose. And bring your mind's eye to your breath. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Soften your jaw. And let your shoulders fall away from your ears. And then your low back is pulled in and lifts up. The sits bones heavy. A few more rounds of breath right here. Think about an intention for your practice. It could just be one uplifting word. Something you want to cultivate on and off your mat. Fold your palms together in front of your heart. Inhale deeply. Slow exhale out your mouth. Good. Rest your hands down. Slowly open the eyes and come to tabletop, hands and knees. Spread fingers wide, shoulders stack over wrists. Start to go through your cat-cow. And instead of just rushing from one pose to the next, be aware of what you're doing. So just be intentional with your movement. If you're moving through cow, you inhale, lift your tail, slide the scapula down your back, take your gaze forward, stretch your belly. And then exhale, start it. Press down into the earth with your finger pads, round your spine, and tuck your tail. Take a few more rounds on your own. Good, last round, and then we'll meet in our neutral spine. Now bring your knees together, feet together, toes are untucked, and sit back on your heels. Lift your armpits up to your ears, slide the head of your arm bones back, and bring your hands back behind you. So the hands are shoulder width distance apart. You're sitting on your heels. Bend your elbows, slide the scapula down your back toward your waistline, and then lift your gaze up, but you're not picking up your hips. You're keeping the sits bones rooted on the heels. Bend your elbows more, slide the head of the arm bones down. Open up your chest. Good. And then come forward. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Let your pelvis be heavy. Slide scapula down. Slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Take your hands out in front of you. Legs are wide. Press down through the tops of the feet. So come to the finger pads. So your hands are lined up with the edge of your mat on the left and right. Elbows lift, armpits lift toward ears, and then slide the scapula down your back. Lift your chest, pressing down into the pubic bone and pressing down into the pinky toe. Inhale, press the earth away, lift the chest. Exhale, slowly release down. Slide your hands underneath the shoulders. Press to downward facing dog. Lift your hips, come through hands and knees or plank. Claw the mat with your finger pads. Pedal your feet out here. From here, lift your heels. Bend your knees a little bit. And then just shift forward so that the shoulders start to move over your wrists. Lift your armpits up. Good. And then slide the scapula down your back. So you've got these bent knees, lifted tail. And then keep that shoulder integration as you keep your arms strong and straight. Slowly peel the hips back. Heels lower down toward the floor, but not necessarily touching. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Take steps up to the top of the mat or a little hop, and then a big hop, forward fold. Feet hips width distance apart. Little bend in the knees, lift up through the tailbone. Keep the legs nice and straight. Let your head hang. Soft neck, heavy head. Now, take your hands, the palms, to the side of your calf muscles or shins, and then press the shins in toward the midline. Flare the toes, slide scapula down the back. Maybe take the gaze forward and keep pressing into the shins. Shins press back into the palms. Lift up through your tailbone. Breathe. Let the hands go. Walk them forward. Reach through your crown. Lift through your tail. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Hinge at your hips. Press down into the feet. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Look up. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, fold. Keep your legs straight. Inhale, walk your hands forward. Look ahead, reach through the crown. Exhale, bend knees, plant the hands, claw the mat with your finger pads, step back, plank. Now from here, press back through your heels. Bring the front of the pelvis toward your navel. So you've got that abdominal engagement. Slide shoulder blades down the back. Gaze is forward and down. And you're breathing. Tailbone lengthens toward your heels. Knees can always come down. Inhale, shift forward, knees might come down. Exhale, take a push-up or chaturanga, or come all the way to the belly. Upward facing dog if you're ready, or low cobra or high cobra. And then lift the hips, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees deeply. Take a little hop and then a big hop, forward fold, top of the mat. Root down through all four corners of the feet. Inhale, rise up to the sky. Reach up, look up, big breath in, palms together. And then exhale, hinge at hips, fold. Inhale, walk hands forward, reach through the crown, lift up through the tailbone, legs are straight. And then exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, knees might come down. Scapula draws down the back. Take your push up or come to the belly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Root down into the first fingers. Exhale, tuck toes, lift hips. Down dog. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look ahead. Little hop, big hop, top of the mat, fold. Root down to rise up. Inhale, reach up. Palms together, look up. Exhale, one more. Hinge at hips, fold. Inhale, walk your hands forward, reach through your crown, lift up through the tailbone. And exhale, bend knees, plant the hands down, step back, plank. Inhale, shift forward. Tailbone lengthens to heels, scapula slides down your back. Take your push up or come to the belly. Untuck toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Little step, little hop or big hop, all the way to the top of the mat, fold. Root down through the feet. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Palms touch. And then hands in front of the heart. Exhale. Grab your strap or leash or whatever. And then take the arms wider than the shoulders. And don't turn the wrists in or out. They are just in line with the arms. So feet hips width distance apart. So to work on opening up the front body, we need to strengthen our back body. So inhale, reach your arms high. And then I'll turn to you so you can see my back. Exhale, bend elbows, contract your scapula toward each other, but you're not coming lower than your mid-back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, strap goes in front of the chest. Don't go any lower. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Anchor the tops of your thighs back. Exhale, bend elbows, scapula slide down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take the arms forward. Strap is nice and taut. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, bend elbows, slide scapula down. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms go out in front. Okay, ditch your strap. Now, take the arms, reach them up to the sky. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Inhale, reach the arms up. Don't jut the hips forward. Exhale, sway to your right. Left side chest lifts up. Hips might go left a bit. Good, come up through center. Switch the grip. Inhale, reach up, get really tall. Exhale, sway to the left, hips go right. Right side chest opens up. Gaze is straight forward or maybe up. Inhale, come up. through center. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, fold. Walk your hands forward. Lift the spine halfway, look ahead. And then exhale, root the hands down. Step or jump back, plank. Inhale, shift forward. Start your exhale. Take your push-up or lower to the belly. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, step your right foot through your hands. Keep your fingertips on the mat. Hug your right hip back, lift your left thigh toward the sky. Good. Now, shore up the legs, so squeeze them toward each other, and then reach your arms forward. Slide the scapula down your back. Keep pressing your pubic bone back to lift your tailbone, and then slowly come up. High lunge. Shoulders rest down away from your ears. Inhale. Now exhale. Keep the legs where they're at, and then swing the arms down and back like airplane wings, palms face down. Inhale, rise back up, reach up. Exhale, sweep your arms down and back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, reach up, get tall. Woo. Exhale, hands come down. Root down through the first finger. Try to lift the right foot without sliding it back. Downward facing dog. Notice the difference between the sides. Next, inhale, left foot steps forward. Back knee stays lifted. Fingertips are on your mat to set yourself up. Act as if you're scissoring your legs together. Press your pubic bone back to lift your tailbone. Hug belly button to spine and actually reach forward first. So upper arms by the ears. Good. Now keep this forward tilt in your pelvis and slowly come up. Inhale. Exhale, sweep arms down and back. Inhale, reach up. Keep the integrity in your strong legs. Exhale, sweep arms down and back. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, sweep arms down and back. That was the last one. Inhale, reach up. Good, and then exhale, hands come down. Press down into the first finger. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward plank. Keep clawing the mat with the finger pads. Tailbone toward the heels. Take your push-up or come down to the belly. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for one round of breath. Next, inhale, right foot steps through the hands. Back heel comes down. Walk both hands toward the left side of your mat and off of your mat entirely. Bend deeper into your front knee. Zip your right sits bone underneath the hip. Left leg stays straight. Heart melts forward. Bend the elbows. You can let the head hang. Take a peek between the legs. Good. Now walk both hands toward the front foot. Left hand, left hip. Right hand stays outside your right foot. Pin left scapula toward the spine. Left arm reaches up. Bend your front knee. Tuck your right sits bone under. Good. Reach your left arm forward. Reach through the fingertips. Get really long on your left side. Maybe even bow the ribs a little bit. Big breath in. And then exhale. Cartwheel the hand down. Left heel lifts. step back, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, step your left foot through your hands, back heel down. Both hands come inside your front foot, and then reach to the outside of your mat on the right. Scoop your left sits bone under. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Bend the elbows, melt your heart down, maybe take a peek between the legs. Act as if you're trying to crinkle up your mat between your feet. Walk both hands back toward the front foot. Left hand outside, left foot, right hand, right hip. Pin the right shoulder blade back. Right arm reaches up. Breath. Good. Reach your right arm forward. Bow the side ribs. Inhale. Exhale. Cartwheel the right hand down. Lift your back heel. Step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, little hop. Big hop, top of the mat, fold. Root down through your feet. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Look up, palms touch. And exhale, palms in front of the heart. Arms down by the sides. Shift the weight into your right leg. Bend your left knee and reach for the inside of your left foot. Left head of arm bone back. Right arm reaches up. Right leg stays strong and straight. Kick into the back hand. As you bring the chest forward of the hips, your lifted kneecap faces down. Try to keep the hips square. And then even draw the bottom of your sternum toward your navel. Right arm reaches straight ahead, palm faces in. Straighten your front knee or right knee. And then come back up, standing. And let that go. Shift the weight to the left leg. Bend the right knee, reach for the inside of the foot. Left arm reaches up. Knees toward each other, but not together. Keep your hips square. And then kick into the hand. Hand pulls to foot. Reach forward with your left arm. Turn the palm in to the midline. Notice if you stop breathing, stay intentional with your breath. And then slowly come up vertical. And let that go. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach arms up, look up. Exhale, hinge at hips, fold over strong, straight legs. Walk your hands forward. Reach to the crown, lift up through your tailbone. And then bend your knees, plant the hands, step back, plank. Side plank, right hand stays where it's at. Stack your feet or bring your right knee down, left arm lifts up. Stacking bones, inner thighs spin in toward each other and back. Left arm stacks right over the right. Let the right scapula slide down your back to make space for your neck. Maybe you lift your left leg, maybe not. Come back through plank, and then over to the left hand, left scapula slides down, right arm reaches up, flex the toes a ton toward your nose, and breathe. Bring the front of the pelvis toward your navel, fire up your core. One more inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. Take the push-up if you like, or skip it. We'll meet in down dog or child's pose, you choose. Once you're there, couple rounds of breath. Notice how you feel now compared to when we started practice. Good, next inhale. Right foot steps forward. Back heel comes down. Left hand, left hip. Booty back, heart scoops forward, right sits bone underneath right hip. Take your gaze down and forward. Reach your right hand about 10 inches in front of your right pinky toe. Step your back foot in a touch, and then straighten the front leg, half moon. So if you have any cramping in your right leg, glue your right sits bone toward your tailbone. Continue to reach through the crown of the head. Keep your side body long. And then take your left leg, lift it up a little bit higher, kick it forward a touch. Continue to scoop the right sits bone toward your tailbone. Left arm might come up. Left scapula pins back. Gaze can be up or down. Maybe you hover the fingertips. Option to add on, bend the standing or lifted knee, grab for the foot, even if you have to bring it into the chest, and then kick into your hand. Hand pulls to foot. Right leg is straight. Think about your shins hugging into the midline. That action of pressing the hand against the outer calf like we did in the beginning of class. Let the foot go if you have it. Elongate through both legs and then come to warrior two. Windmill, open the arms. Good, bend the front knee. Take your gaze forward. Even here, booty is more back, heart is more forward, scapula together and down. Now, straighten your front knee. Take your hands to your hips. Take your fingers to the top of your thigh bones and press them way back, which automatically brings your heart forward. Take both hands down. They're likely on the outside of your mat. And then take your right hand outside your right foot. Left hand, left hip. Scapula toward each other. Left arm up. Triangle. Big hamstring opener here. You could even take the toes on the right, turn them out a touch. Right sits bone hugs under hip. Left scapula opens. Gaze up or down. Breathe. If you have any discomfort in the knee, really hug the shins to the midline. So you can do that by lifting up your pinky toe and the one next to it. One more inhale. Exhale, both hands come down, front knee bends, back knee comes down, reach your arms up, low lunge. Let the pelvis be heavy. You might want padding under your back knee, that's fine. Right outer hip draws back, front of left hip forward. Palms come together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lift your sternum, lift your gaze, bend into your front knee and breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, both hands come down. Lift your back knee, back thigh. Root down into the hands. And then try not to make sound with the right foot as it lifts. Step to downward facing dog. Stay here. Notice the difference between the sides. On your next inhale, step your left foot through your hands, back heel comes down. Now keep your left hand outside your front foot, right hand, right hip. Right scapula opens up and draws toward the spine. Left sits bone under left hip. Gaze forward, reach your left hand about 10 inches in front of your pinky toe. Step your back foot up a touch and then lift it up, side or a half moon. Right leg lifts. Keep scooping left sits bone toward tail. Right leg is lifted so much that it's like a diagonal line from the lifted foot all the way down through the crown. Right arm can reach up, gaze can be up or down. Find length in your side body. Maybe bend the upper knee, reach for the foot, kick into the hand pulls to foot, right scapula to the spine, and then bottom of the sternum, not top, draws toward your navel. Release the foot, elongate through the bones of both legs, step slowly back, warrior two. Gaze is forward, booty back, heart forward, left sits bone scoops under. Straighten your front knee. Take your hands to your hips and then shift booty back again, heart forward, both hands come down. Left hand outside, left foot, right hand, right hip. Right scapula towards spine, right arm reaches up. Act as if you're squeezing your feet toward each other. Maybe lift the pinky toe on your front foot. Good. Take your right hand down, lift your back heel, bend your back knee, and take it down to the mat, so slide it back. Good. Hug legs to the midline. Inhale, reach up. Pelvis is heavy. You could even reach forward a little bit. Press your pubic bone back. And then reach your arms back up. Soften the shoulders down. Press into the ball of the back foot. Press it down. Palms can come together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lift from your sternum. Look up. And breathe. Good. Bring both hands down to your mat. Root the hands down. Lift back knee, back thigh, and step back. Downward facing dog. Notice if the sides feel a little bit more even. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees deeply. Empty the breath, look ahead. One big hop or a little hop, and then a big hop, fold. Press down into the feet. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Look up, palms together, and exhale, palms in front of the heart. Good, and then let the arms be by the sides, palms turn in, tops of thighs anchor back. Okay, shift the weight into the right leg. Lift your left knee and open it up to the left. And then use your hand to take the foot inside the thigh. Toes face down. And the foot can be inside the calf. Use it as a kickstand, or it's on the inner thigh. So we're setting up for tree pose, Rikshasana. Hands come together in front of the heart. Hips are square. And then when you're ready, reach your arms up. Take your gaze up. Keep rooting down through all four corners of your right foot. Keep your left knee opening up. And then bring your palms together in front of the heart. Lift your left knee and step down. Tadasana. Shake it out if you need to. Shift the weight into your left leg. Lift your right knee up. Open it to the right. Take your right hand. Guide the foot inside the thigh. Toes point down. Glutes hug in on the left side. And then hands in front of the heart. Press your foot into the left leg and press your left leg back into the foot. Add some resistance. Gaze is focused and intentional, hands in front of the heart. When you're ready, reach your arms up. Take your gaze up. Relax your jaw. And then bring your palms back together in front of your heart. Lift your right knee and step down, Tadasana. Root down and through the feet. Come back to the intention you may have set at the beginning of your practice. Inhale, reach arms high. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold. Walk your hands forward, reach through your crown. And then bend the knees, root the hands down, step back, plank. Inhale, shift forward, knees come down. Exhale to Sphinx. So come down to your forearms. Let your legs be wide. And then palms face down. Lift armpits to ears, head to arm bones, draw back, reach through your crown, keep the back of your neck long. And then draw the bottom of your sternum toward your navel so that there's a little bit of space underneath your low belly and the mat. Good. Slowly lower. And take your right arm to be parallel with the top of your mat. Bend your left knee and reach for the inside of your left foot. Now notice if your collarbones start to cave in. Keep the left scapula peeling down your back, grabbing onto the foot. Foot pulls toward the outer left hip. And then your foot kicks back into the hand. Now take your torso forward, square the collarbones forward, and breathe. Bottom of sternum toward navel. Maybe you have so much space here in the front of the quad that you can take your fingertips, grab the toes, and lift your elbow up. And then slide your scapula down. Keep pressing your foot down. Big quad stretch here. Gaze forward and down. And release. Good. Crocodile, the hands, forehead rest, shimmy hips side to side. Take your left forearm parallel with the top of the mat. Bend your back knee. Reach for the back foot inside. Now, collarbone square to the front of the mat. Elbow faces down on your back foot. But if you have the right foot next to the right hip, lift the right elbow. Keep bringing the foot toward the outer right hip and slide your right scapula down. Gaze can be down and forward, and you're breathing. And then let go of the foot and release. Crocodile arms, shimmy hips side to side. Okay, moving on. You could take locust, arms down by the sides, palms face down, and then lift the head of the arm bones away from your mat. Lift your legs, lift your arms. Or take floor bow. So we're grabbing for the inside or outside of our feet. Knees a little bit wide. Shoulder blades slide down. And then kick into the hands and lift everything up. Stretch the front of the shoulders. Slide your scapula down. And breathe. Maybe rock and roll a little. Kick, kick, kick up and lift. And then slowly come on down. Take your hands underneath the shoulders, press on up, tabletop. Couple rounds, cat-cow. Notice how your back feels. Okay, so now sit your hips back. If you have, actually, if you have a block, grab it. So what I'm looking for is if your seat doesn't sit inside the feet and it like hovers off your mat, add some height to the floor. Bring the floor up to you. You could also use a blanket. Okay, so before we kind of attempt what we're gonna go for here, if this pose and you find doesn't work for you, you can work on pigeon, which most of you probably know, or you can come back up to dancers. Otherwise, knees are in line with sits bone, toes are untucked. Take your hands forward to start. Now bring the fingers to the back of your knee pit and slide the fingers down the flesh of the calves all the way to the ankles and sit between the feet. Okay, hands root down, lift your booty a little bit and press your pubic bones back. And then sit back down. So what we are looking for is that the hip joint, the ball and socket joint, is integrated and like packed in. What we don't want is the hips up here and the tailbone super tucked. So right now the tailbone is flaring back. Okay, squeeze the inner ankles toward the glutes. If you're feeling any kind of knee pain, you could also spread the toes out laterally. So we're maintaining that action of hugging the shins in. And then the self-adjustment would be to take your left hand underneath the hammies on the left thigh and take them to the outer left side of your mat. And then right hand wraps around the outside of the right thigh, grab onto the 3 hamstrings, pull them out to the right. Okay. Now start to go back. Head of arm bones slide back. You can come back on your hands and then maybe you stay here, just like we were in the beginning of class, a little bit different variation with the legs, but the upper body is the same. So you roll head of arm bones back, slide the scapula down, pubic bone presses down, and you're in a back bend. If you want more, you'll continue to come down, maybe to the elbows, and once you get to this point, perhaps you lift your tailbone a little bit and slide it toward the back of the knees because you're already in alignment. So we can add that little touch at the end. If you've got more here, you'll come down to the back of your head. If your low back is super crunchy, continue to lift the hips and lengthen the tailbone to the back of the knee pits. Now organically press down the knees to the earth. And then if you want, you could take your right arm up, your left arm up, maybe grab onto opposite elbows, gentle pressure in the back of your head. Breathe. Lifting the inner ankles up, pressing the knees down, lengthening tailbone forward. Big stretch for the front body. And we need this right now, especially if we're sitting, at a desk all day. Excellent pose to open up the front side. Two more rounds of breath. Good. Now, if you're all the way back, take the hands to the heels. You can press down into the elbows and slowly rise up. And then walk your hands forward. Tuck your toes. Bring your knees back to hips with distance. Couple rounds, cat-cow. Okay, adding on to our back bends. So now we're going to make our way down to our back. You can take a strap with you and one block. And then come on down. So feet are sits bones distance apart. You're going to roll your sits bones forward so you have a little space underneath the low back. Walk your fingertips toward your heels, shimmy your shoulder blades together, press down through the inner arches, lift your hips up. And then soften your glutes by thinking about your sits bones becoming heavy. Option here, maybe you grab on to the ankles with your hands. So your knees are going forward. And then you're broadening the entire front side of your body again. Heels draw back, sits bones are heavy, and you're breathing. Chest comes up toward chin, chin lifts away from the chest, gentle pressure in the back of your head. If you have the ankles, slowly let them go. Come back down with your sits bones. Draw your knees to your chest. And just take some circles with the knees in each direction, in case your low back's getting a little bit cranky. Okay, feet come back down. Fingertips walk toward heels. Option to take a second bridge or wheel. I'm not going to take wheel, but I'll tell you how to get into it. So you set the hands, fingers face the shoulders, elbows face the back of the mat. They might be open a little bit to start. Pressing down through the feet, you're lifting your hips, sits bones heavy, and then you're going to press into the hands and roll to the top of the head, and then roll toward your hairline. And then you're going to take your elbow or your shoulders out of socket by reaching with the elbows forward and then hugging the head of the arm bones back. And then everything lifts up. Straighten the arms. Try to have your hip points in line with your ribs. Otherwise, you're in bridge. If you're in wheel, maybe walk your heels more toward your hands. Perhaps your elbows can hug in a little bit more and then pump your heart forward. Lift your gaze a little bit and breathe. Wherever you're at, tuck your chin, bring your hips back down, and then knees come in toward the chest. Take some circles, a few in each direction. Okay, and then from here, take your left leg really long. Right knee hugs into the chest, interlace your fingers around the shin. You can even take the right knee toward the right armpit. Good, and then lengthen your right leg out. Notice the difference between the sides. And then left knee comes in, interlace fingers around the shin, draw the knee toward the armpit. One more inhale. And exhale, left leg goes long. Good. Both knees bend, feet plant into the mat. Grab your block and then lift your hips. Let the sacrum, which is part of the pelvis, right above your tailbone, be heavy on your block. You could have it really, I would just say at the first or second setting. And then take one knee in toward your chest, followed by the other. And then straighten your legs up. Flex your feet, take your arms out to the side, maybe close your eyes. Just let everything settle. Good, now bend both knees. Bring your feet back down to the mat. Press down into the feet, lift the hips, remove the block. Happy baby. Knees toward armpits, soles of feet face up. Grab the inner or outer edges of the feet. Rock and roll a little side to side. Good. Now take both feet down. Hook your right ankle over your left thigh. And then pick up your hips. Draw your sits bones forward. Press the hips back down. So you're not going to have as much range of motion, but you are going to be in alignment. So you'll pick up that figure four shape, interlace the fingers behind the thigh, and then rock and roll side to side. Good. Left foot comes down. Unhook the right. Left ankle crosses over right thigh, organically pressing the left knee forward. Sits bones roll forward. And then draw the shape toward your body. Interlace your fingers around the calf. Sway a little side to side. And then your right foot comes down. Unhook your left. Good. And then take your left leg long. Bring your right knee in. Left hand stays on the right shin. Cross it over your body to your left. And then maybe your right scapula can go more toward your spine. Mine's not even going to touch down right now to the mat, and that's okay. Take your right arm out like a half letter T. Gaze to the right. Slowly roll to the back. Hug the right knee in. A little gratitude for your right leg today. And then take the right leg long. Stop. Notice the difference between the sides. Left knee hugs in. Right hand stays on the shin. Left arm goes out to the side. And then cross over the body to the right. Maybe the shoulder blades touch down, maybe not. Gaze to the left. And then slowly come on back to your back. Little hug in. And left leg nice and long. Good. From here, bend both knees. Heel toe feet together. Soles of feet together. Knees open up. Supta Badakanasana. Again, the low back is not planted into the mat. You're rolling your sits bones forward toward your heels. And then option here, you can cactus the arms. Let the back body become really heavy on your mat. Stay here for your final rest, or take Shavasana. Right leg long, left leg long. Take your head side to side. Use any props. Cover yourself up with a blanket or have an eye pillow. Before you tune inside, take a scan with your mind's eye from your toes all the way out the crown of your head. See if you're holding on to any tension anywhere and just send the breath there. Your mind wanders, bring your attention back to the rise and fall of your belly, to your breath. If you have the luxury of time, stay here for as long as you can. Otherwise, just deepen your breath. Take your head side to side, little wiggles in fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead, get really long from fingertips all the way down through the toes. Exhale out all your breath. And then taking the biggest inhale your lungs will allow. Fill up. Hold your breath at the top. And exhale, release. Take your knees into your chest. Hands rest on the knees or shins. Roll over to the side that feels right in this moment, right or left. Just stay there for a moment and then take your top hand to press yourself up to your seat. Eyes remain closed. Take your right ear down to your right shoulder. Chin down to chest. Left ear, left shoulder. And then just take some half circles or maybe even drop the head back if that feels okay for your neck. Just take a couple circles in each direction. If you haven't switched directions, go for it. And then just come back. Neutral spine. Fold your hands together in front of your heart. Come back to the intention you may have set. Inhale, breath. Exhale, release. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.